"Happy birthday, Lily," I shouted as I lifted her into the air. She laughed, arms wrapping around my neck. "Daddy, higher!" Emily smiled from across the room, her blonde hair catching the glow of the candles. "Careful, you'll drop her." "I'd never drop her," I said, planting a kiss on Lily's forehead. "She's my whole world." The living room was filled with chatter, family, friends, neighbors. Balloons brushed against the ceiling, and Lily's laughter bounced like music through the air. For a while, I believed life was flawless. Then I heard it. A low mumble, slurred with alcohol. Richard leaned against the wall, whiskey glass in hand. "Poor guy doesn't even know the kid ain't his." The words sliced through me like broken glass. My chest tightened. "What did you just say?" Richard blinked, suddenly pale. Nothing! Just drunk talk." I stepped closer, voice sharp. "Don't lie to me! What did you mean?" Emily rushed, forward grabbing my arm. "Ignore him, he's drunk." "Richard, shut up." Richard stammered. "I didn't..." "Forget it, man. Forget it." The laughter in the room carried on, but my ears rang. My grip on the glass trembled until it cracked in my hand. Emily hissed, "Stop it. You're making a scene." I forced a smile for the guests. "Excuse us." Pulling Emily aside, I whispered, "What is he talking about? Tell me now." Her eyes narrowed. "He's drunk. Don't embarrass me." "That's not an answer." She folded her arms. "Do you really think I'd lie to you about Lily?" My mouth was dry. "I don't know what to think anymore," Emily snapped. "You're being paranoid." She turned to greet another guest, as if nothing had happened. But the seed was planted. That night, after the party ended, I sat on the couch, staring at the dark television. Emily entered, arms crossed. "Are you still sulking?" she asked. "Sulking?" My voice cracked. "Richard," said Lily isn't mine. "You expect me to just laugh it off?" She rolled her eyes. "You know he drinks too much. Why would you believe him over me?" Because he sounded too certain. I leaned forward. "Emily, swear to me. Look me in the eyes and swear Lily is mine." Her lips trembled, just slightly. "Of course she is. How could you even ask that?" That hesitation. "I wasn't hesitating," she snapped. "I'm exhausted. You're ruining what should have been a beautiful day for our daughter." I stood. "If I'm wrong, then prove me wrong. Say it without breaking eye contact. Tell me Lily is mine." She glared at me, then stormed toward the bedroom. "I'm done with this conversation." I followed, heart hammering. "You're hiding something. I can feel it." She spun around, tears welling in her eyes. "Why can't you just trust me?" "Because trust doesn't require begging for answers." Lily's soft voice came from the hallway. "Daddy? Mommy? Why are you yelling?" My heart broke. I forced a smile and knelt. "We're just talking, sweetheart. Go back to bed." Emily quickly hugged her. "Yes, baby, it's fine. Daddy's just overthinking." Lily looked between us, confused, then walked back to her room. As soon as she was gone, Emily hissed, "Don't you dare bring her into this." I didn't. But she deserves the truth too. "You're insane," she whispered. "You're letting one drunken comment destroy everything." I pressed my palms against my face. Everything I've built my life on depends on whether Richard was lying or not. Can't you see that? Emily's voice softened. "I love you. Lily loves you. Isn't that enough?" I dropped my hand, staring at her. Love built on lies isn't love. Her silence was louder than any scream. At 3 a.m, I lay awake beside her. Emily slept peacefully, as if nothing had happened. I stared at the ceiling, my chest hollow. The words replayed endlessly. Doesn't even know the kid ain't his. I wanted to believe Emily, but the crack in her voice, the flicker in her eyes haunted me. I whispered to myself, what if it's true? No answer came, only the sound of my own breaking heart. "Emily, where are you going again?" I asked as she grabbed her purse. She paused at the doorway. Work dinner. Don't wait up. Another one? I forced a smile. That's the third this week. She adjusted her hair in the mirror. Clients don't wait for convenience. Right. My throat tightened. Do clients text you at midnight too? Her eyes narrowed. Are you spying on me? I saw the light on your phone. Then stop snooping, she snapped and slammed the door behind her. I sat in silence, staring at the empty hallway. The phone screen had lit up with a name I knew too well, Daniel. The next day, I met Daniel for coffee. I needed to look normal even while my stomach churned. Brother! Daniel clapped my shoulder. You look tired. Emily keeping you busy? I clenched my jaw. Yeah, busy. He grinned. That's marriage. You'll thank me someday for staying single. Funny, I said. You text her a lot for someone who avoids relationships. His hand froze on the cup. What are you talking about? I leaned back. I've seen your name on her phone. Daniel laughed, forced. She asks me about gifts for you. She wants advice, that's all. Advice at midnight? He looked straight at me. You're imagining things. The words echoed like poison. That night, I tried to talk again. Emily, can we be honest for a moment? I asked as she folded. Laundry. She didn't look up. About what? You and Daniel. Her hands stilled. What about Daniel? I think something's going on. She laughed coldly. Do you realize how insane that sounds? He's your best friend. Exactly, I whispered. That's why it feels like a knife. She dropped the shirt in her hands. So now you're accusing me of cheating? I'm asking you to explain. Her voice rose. I'm sick of your paranoia. I work, I take care of this family, and this is the thanks I get? I stared at her trembling hands. They weren't trembling from anger. They were trembling from fear. Later, I confided in her cousin Claire. She was folding invitations for a family event when I asked quietly, Claire, can I ask you something? Of course, she said. You look pale. What's wrong? Do you think Emily spends too much time with Daniel? She frowned. Daniel? No, he's harmless. He's always around both of you. Why? I forced a chuckle. Just curious. Sometimes I feel left out. Claire smiled warmly. Don't be silly. Emily loves you. If she talks to Daniel, it's probably about surprising you. Her innocence burned me. I couldn't tell her what I suspected. When I returned home, Emily was waiting on the couch. You talked to Claire? She asked, voice cold. My stomach dropped. She mentioned it? Yes. Do you enjoy making me look unfaithful? I didn't say that. You implied it. She stood, hands clenched. Do you want to ruin our family? I whispered. You've already ruined it. Her slap came fast. My cheek burned. Tears stung my eyes, not from the pain of her hand, but from the pain of her betrayal. Emily's voice cracked. You'll regret doubting me. I stared at her. No, I'll regret trusting you. She stormed upstairs, leaving me in the silence of my own collapsing world. I sat alone, gripping my phone. Daniel's name flashed across Emily's screen again. My hands shook. I answered. Daniel's voice was low. Emily? You there? I didn't speak. Look, I can't keep sneaking around like this. He's not that stupid. Sooner or later, he'll figure it out. My breath caught. The line went dead. I stared at the phone, heart pounding like thunder. The dots weren't just connecting anymore. They were spelling out the truth. Emily, sit down. My voice shook as I blocked the doorway. She crossed her arms. Why are you looking at me like that? Because I know. My throat tightened. Stop lying. Tell me the truth. Her eyes flickered. About what? About Daniel. She froze, then her lips trembled. You're paranoid. Say it. I slammed my hand on the table. Tell me Lily is mine. Tears welled in her eyes. She's not. The air left my lungs. My knees nearly buckled. What? Her sobs came fast. Daniel is her biological father, but you're the one who raised her. You're her dad in every way that matters. I gripped the edge of the chair. Don't twist this. You lied for years. I was scared, she cried. I thought you'd leave me. I laughed bitterly. So you let me live a lie instead? Emily fell to her knees, clutching my hands. Please don't walk away. Lily needs you. You're her whole world. I yanked free. What about me? What about my world? You destroyed it. She loves you, Emily whispered. She doesn't even know Daniel. To her, you are father, protector, everything. My voice cracked. And what am I to you? A fool who never noticed? Her tears spilled. I never stopped loving you. I made a mistake. Mistake? My chest burned. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This was betrayal. She crawled closer. Stay. For Lily. She'll be broken without you. I shook my head. I'm already broken. Emily clutched my leg. Please, if you leave, she'll lose everything. She's already lost the truth. I stepped back. You've poisoned it. Her voice rose. I can't undo it, but I can try. Please, let's start over. I stared at her, trembling. How do you start over when every memory is rotten? She reached for me again. Because love is stronger than mistakes. No, I whispered. Not this time. At that moment, Michael walked in. What's going on? Emily wiped her face. Nothing. Don't lie to him, I said. She just admitted Lily isn't mine. Michael's jaw dropped. Emily, is that true? Emily sobbed. Yes, but it doesn't change who he is to her. Michael turned to me. Brother, breathe. Think before you act. I shook my head. There's nothing to think about. Everything I built is gone. Don't throw your life away tonight, Michael pleaded. My life was thrown away years ago, I muttered. Emily reached out again. Don't leave. I'll do anything. Then, vanish from my sight. My voice was hollow. Silence swallowed the room. I grabbed my coat, my vision blurred with tears. Michael called after me. Where are you going? Anywhere but here. Emily sobbed behind me. Don't! Please, she needs you. I stopped at the door. You both had a choice, and you chose. Lies. The door slammed behind me as I stumbled into the night, the cold air searing my lungs. My legs shook, but I kept moving, leaving the only home I had ever known. Inside me, something had died. The rain pounded against my windshield as I gripped the steering wheel. Michael's voice echoed in my head. Think before you act. Emily's voice followed, breaking me. She's not yours, I screamed into the empty car. Why? Why would you do this to me? The road blurred with tears. Headlights swerved into view. I didn't move. Metal crashed. Glass shattered. Darkness swallowed me whole. When my eyes opened, I gasped for air. A ceiling fan spun above me. My hands were uncut, my body whole. I sat up fast, heart racing. Emily? I whispered. The door creaked open. Emily walked in, younger, hair shorter, her smile radiant. You're awake? Finally. My chest tightened. What year is it? She laughed. You hit your head? It's 2014, don't scare me like that. My blood ran cold. That was before Lily's birth, before the betrayal. I staggered out of bed, rushing to the mirror. My face looked younger, my eyes clearer, my phone lit up with an old date I remembered too well. This isn't possible, I muttered. I died. Emily frowned. What are you talking about? I just need air, she followed. Are you sick? Should I call Michael? No. I turned, trembling. Don't call anyone, I just need time. Her hand touched my arm. You're scaring me. I pulled away. I'm scared too. Later that night, I sat, alone outside, the cool air biting my skin. My thoughts spiraled. Is this real? I whispered. Or punishment? Michael's voice startled me. Punishment for what? I turned, stunned. Michael, you're alive. Younger. He frowned. What's wrong with you tonight? Nothing. I forced a shaky laugh. Just grateful you're here. He raised a brow. You sound like a man who almost died. I did, I said under my breath. What? Nothing. Forget it. Michael sighed. You're acting strange. Talk to me. I leaned closer. If life gave you a second chance, would you take it? He smirked. Depends. Second chance at what? At everything. At not being a fool. Michael chuckled. Then don't waste it. His words burned into me. When I walked back inside, Emily was waiting on the couch. Can you tell me what's going on? You're distant. Different. I sat across from her. Emily, do you love me? Her smile faltered. Of course I do. Why would you ask that? Because one day, I whispered, I might not believe it. She tilted her head. You're speaking in riddles. Maybe, I muttered, but I won't make the same mistake twice. What mistake? I stared at her, remembering her tears years later, remembering the confession that shattered me. Never mind, I said softly. Emily leaned closer. You're worrying me. I forced a smile. Don't. I just realized how fragile life is. She touched my cheek. Then promise me you'll live every moment with us. I looked into her eyes and lied. I promise. Inside, I whispered to myself, this time, I'll watch every move. This time, I'll see the betrayal before it poisons me. And when it comes, I'll be ready. I lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling fan again. My heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. Fate gave me another chance, I said into the darkness. I won't waste it. Not again. And for the first time since death, I felt alive. Morning, love, Emily said, sliding a plate of eggs toward me. I smiled. You spoil me. She laughed lightly. You deserve it. My fork hovered. Do I? I forced my grin wider. Then I'll take it. Her eyes softened. See? That's the man I married. I chewed in silence, my mind sharpening. Later, I called Daniel. Brother, he boomed. Drinks tonight? Why not? I said. We should celebrate. Celebrate what? Friendship, I replied smoothly. He laughed. You're sentimental today. Maybe I am. Inside, my stomach turned. That night, I clinked glasses with him. To loyalty. Daniel smirked. To women, too. I tilted my head. Women? You sound guilty. He waved it off. Just joking. Of course, I said, watching the flicker in his eyes. He changed the subject fast. I stored it away. When I got home, Emily was waiting. Late night? With Daniel, I said. He sends his love. She smiled too quickly. That's nice. I studied her face. You miss him, don't you? Her cheeks flushed. What? No. Relax, I said warmly. I'm teasing. Her shoulders loosened. Don't scare me like that. I kissed her forehead. Never. Inside, I whispered. One step closer. Days passed. I played the doting husband. Want me to drive you? I'd ask. She'd beam. That would be wonderful. Opened doors, bought flowers, cooked dinners. You're incredible, she said one night. Almost too good to be true. I smiled. Maybe I just don't want to lose you. Her eyes shimmered. You never will. Her words cut like a blade, but I nodded. I know. I began recording things. Quietly. Her late-night whispers in the bathroom. Her texts she thought I couldn't see. Every shred I saved. Michael noticed my silence. You're plotting something, he said. I grinned faintly. Me? I'm just living my best life. He leaned closer. I've known you too long. Spill. I'm patient, I told him. Sometimes you have to let snakes slither out of their holes. He frowned. You're scaring me. Good, I whispered. That means I'm on the right path. Weeks later, Daniel and I sat watching a game. Emily's glowing lately, he said casually. She is, I replied. I take care of her. His smile twitched. She's lucky. I met his eyes. We both are. For a second, silence hung, heavy. Then he laughed too loudly. Yeah, both lucky. I sipped my drink, noting the tremor in his hand. At home, Emily curled against me. You've changed. Softer. Do you like it? I asked. She kissed my cheek. I love it. I stroked her hair. Good, because I plan to be the perfect husband. Her breath caught, just for a second. You already are, she whispered. I smiled into the darkness. Perfect enough to watch you hang yourself. One evening, I pretended to sleep on the couch. Her phone buzzed. She tiptoed out, whispering, I miss you too. My chest tightened. I didn't move. Yes, tomorrow, she said. At the cafe, same time. I memorized it, every word. When she slipped back inside, I let my breathing stay steady. She kissed my forehead. Sleep well, love. I nearly laughed. The me. Next day, I followed her from a distance. She walked fast, nervous, glancing around. She entered the cafe. Daniel was already there. I stayed outside, watching through the glass. Her hand touched his. He leaned close, whispering. Her smile broke me, but I swallowed the pain. I pulled out my phone, camera rolling. Click. Evidence. That night, Emily hugged me tightly. You're quiet, she said. Tired, I murmured. Want me to run you a bath? I kissed her head. You're too good to me. Her eyes glimmered. And you to me. Inside, I almost choked on the lie. Weeks stretched into months. I let her dance in her illusion. I let Daniel think he fooled me. I collected texts, photos, recordings. Michael cornered me again. You're digging a grave. I'm building a stage, I corrected. He frowned. For what? For the truth, I said coldly. When it shines, no shadow survives. Michael shook his head. You scare me, brother. I grinned. Good. Emily laughed one evening, brushing my hair. That can promise me you'll never hurt me. I looked her in the eye. I promise. Because I wouldn't hurt her. The truth would. One night, I stood before the mirror, holding my phone full of proof. This isn't about revenge, I whispered. It's about justice. My reflection didn't argue. I smiled bitterly. And justice is patient. Coffee? Emily asked, placing the cup in front of me. Thanks, I said, stirring slowly. You're up early. She smiled faintly. Couldn't sleep. Strange, I murmured. I thought you slept well these days. Her hand trembled just slightly. I do, usually. I sipped, eyes steady on her. That's good, she forced a laugh. Why are you staring at me like that? Because you're beautiful, I said smoothly. Her lips curved. You always know what to say. Inside, I burned. Later, Sophie stopped me outside her office. You look exhausted, I shrugged. Marriage life. Don't lie, she said sharply. Something's eating you. I sighed. What if the person you trusted most was betraying you? Her eyes softened. Emily? I didn't answer. Listen, she said gently. Don't drown yourself in revenge. It will destroy you. Revenge? I asked, feigning innocence. You've got that look, Sophie pressed. The one that says you're planning something dangerous. I forced a smile. Maybe I'm just tired. Don't do this, she warned. Don't let hate define you. Her words cut deep, but I only said, "Thanks, Sophie. I'll keep that in mind." That night, Emily slipped into bed beside me. "Long day?" she whispered. "Always," I said. "Yours?" She paused. "Just errands, groceries, boring things." I chuckled. "Then why the perfume?" Her eyes widened. "What?" "Nothing," I said quickly. "You smell nice, that's all." She laughed nervously. "You're paranoid sometimes." "Am I?" I asked softly. "Of course," she said, pressing her lips to mine. "You overthink everything." I kissed her back, hiding the fire inside. The robber, next afternoon I caught her in the kitchen, phone pressed to her ear. "Yes, tomorrow," she whispered. "No, he doesn't suspect." I cleared my throat loudly. She spun around, nearly dropping the phone. "Oh, I was just ordering flowers." "For who?" I asked, smiling. She hesitated. "For you," I laughed warmly. "You're too sweet." Her shoulders relaxed. Surprise ruined, I guess. I walked away, my jaw tight. I met Daniel at the bar 2 nights later. "You're jumpy," I said, watching him drain his glass. "Work stress," he muttered. "Funny," I said. "Emily mentioned you've been calling her for advice." His eyes darted. "She told you that?" "Of course," I replied smoothly. "Why wouldn't she?" He chuckled awkwardly. "Yeah, just casual stuff." "Good," I said, leaning in. I'd hate to think my best friend was hiding anything from me. His hand tightened around the glass. "Never." I smiled. That's what I thought. At home, Sophie called me. "You're digging a hole you can't climb out of," she said firmly. "Maybe," I answered. "But I've already started shoveling." "Stop before it's too late," she begged. "You're not this person. You don't know me as well as you think," I muttered. "I know enough," she snapped. "And I know revenge doesn't heal." "Neither does silence," I said coldly, and hung up. The following weekend, Emily dressed up more than usual. "Going? Somewhere special?" I asked casually. She froze. "Just meeting Sophie for lunch," I smirked. "Funny. Sophie asked me to help her move furniture today." Emily blinked. "Maybe she forgot." "Maybe," I said, slipping on my jacket. "Mind if I drop you off?" Her throat bobbed. "That's not necessary." "I insist," I replied warmly. Her knuckles whitened as she grabbed her purse. We drove in silence. "Which cafe?" I asked. She gave a name. I turned the wheel toward it. When we arrived, Daniel was already seated by the window, her face drained of color. I smiled politely. "What a coincidence." Daniel stood, stammering. I didn't expect..." "Neither did I said calmly. "Enjoy your lunch." I kissed Emily's cheek and walked away before either could breathe. Behind me, silence fell heavy. That night, she tried to explain. "He needed advice," she said quickly. "It was innocent." "Innocent," I repeated. "Holding hands over, 'Coffee is innocent?'" Her lips parted. "You followed me?" "Accident," I said smoothly. "Fate has a sense of humor." Tears welled in her eyes. "Please don't twist this." I touched her cheek gently. "Why would I? I trust you completely." She sobbed into my chest. "I love you." I stroked her hair, whispering, "I know." But my heart screamed. Later, Sophie called again. "Please," she begged, "don't let this eat you alive." "It's not eating me," I said flatly. "It's feeding me." She gasped. "That's not you talking." "It's exactly me," I said, staring at the ceiling. "I've just stopped lying to myself." "Then you'll lose everything," she whispered. "Or maybe I'll finally win," I replied, and ended the call. The next week, Daniel invited me over. "Brother," he said, pouring whiskey, "we need to talk." "About what?" I asked. He hesitated. "I feel guilty about things I've said. I don't want you to misunderstand." "Then clear it up," I pressed. He swallowed hard. Emily and I... Careful, I cut in, smiling. Say only what you're ready to die with. He froze, pale. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said, sipping slowly. Just advice. He laughed nervously. You're intense lately. Maybe, I admitted, but intensity keeps life interesting. That night, Emily tried to cuddle closer. You're drifting, she whispered. Am I? I asked. You barely look at me anymore. I turned to face her. Maybe I'm afraid of what I'll see. Her lips trembled. You're scaring me. I kissed her gently. Don't be scared. I'll always take care of you. She clung, tighter. Promise? I promise, I said softly, while my heart hardened into stone. Lying awake, I stared at the ceiling. Sophie's warning echoed. Don't let hate define you. But the silence in my chest answered. It already has. I closed my eyes and whispered, the storm is coming. The house buzzed with laughter, clinking glasses and the rustle of wrapping paper. Balloons covered the ceiling and Lily's giggles filled the air. Daddy, look, she cried, holding up her new doll. I smiled, kneeling to hug her. It's perfect, just like you. Emily touched my shoulder. You're making this a day she'll never forget. Oh, I whispered, my voice steady. She'll never forget it. She frowned. What do you mean? You'll see, I said, softly standing tall. Everyone will. As dinner began, I cleared my throat. Before the cake, I want to share something important. Emily blinked. Now? Yes, now, I said firmly. Family should hear the truth together. Murmurs filled the room. My parents, Emily's parents, Daniel, Sophie, all eyes on me. I pulled out my phone, tapping play. Emily's voice echoed through the speakers. Yes, tomorrow. No, he doesn't suspect. Gasps erupted. Emily shot up. What are you doing? Showing them who you are, I said calmly. Daniel's face went pale. Turn it off. Why? I asked. Afraid of honesty? I swiped, showing messages on the screen. I miss you. Same cafe tomorrow. Can't stop thinking about you. Emily screamed, Stop it! Her mother clutched her chest. Emily, what is this? Emily sobbed, grabbing my arm. Please, not here. Not in front of Lily. I pulled free. She deserves to know the kind of mother she has. Daniel stood, voice shaking. Enough! You're humiliating her. I glared. You mean I'm humiliating you? Gasps rippled again. Emily turned on. Daniel, say something. Tell them it's not true. Daniel stammered. It's not what it looks like. Really? I snapped, projecting the photo of their hands touching at the cafe. Looks clear to me. Emily's father slammed his fist on the table. Daniel, you were like a son. To me? Daniel's lips trembled. I didn't mean, you meant everything? I cut in coldly. And now everyone knows. Emily grabbed my hands, tears streaming. Please, please, don't do this. I love you. I never stopped loving you. Love? I hissed. You buried love the day you chose him. Her nails dug into my skin. I was weak, stupid. Don't take Lily's happiness from her. I yanked my hands free. You already took it. You just didn't think the truth would surface. Lily's little voice pierced the silence. Mommy, why are you crying? Emily collapsed, sobbing into her hands. My chest ached, but I stood firm. Daniel tried again. Let's step outside, man. We can talk. No, I said, my voice like steel. We talk here, where everyone can hear. Sophie whispered, Are you sure about this? I nodded once. I've never been more sure. Emily reached for me again. Please, I'll change. I'll cut him out of my life. Just don't destroy me like this. I looked into her eyes. You destroyed yourself. Her father stood, trembling. Is it true? Is Lily even? Emily screamed. Don't you dare! She's his! She's always been his! The words cracked like thunder. Everyone froze. Lily looked around, confused. Daddy? My heart shattered, but I forced a calm smile. I'm still your daddy. Nothing changes that. She hugged my leg tightly. Promise? I stroked her hair. Promise. Behind me, Emily wailed. Daniel collapsed into his chair, head in his hands. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Far enough to ruin a family, I said coldly. Emily screamed at him. Why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you walk away? He lifted his face, pale and broken. Because I loved you. Her slap rang across the room. Don't say that here, gasps echoed again. I raised my phone once more. This is just the beginning. I have months of proof. Lies stacked on lies. Do you want me to play it all? Emily shook her head violently. Please. Mercy. Mercy? I whispered. Where was your mercy when you betrayed me? When you stole years of my life? She collapsed to her knees. I was scared. I thought you'd leave me. You thought wrong, I said coldly. I would have forgiven mistakes, but not this. Never this. Her mother sobbed. Emily, how could you? Emily screamed, clutching her head. Stop! Stop looking at me! Daniel tried to stand again. I'll take the blame. It was my fault. No, I interrupted sharply. You'll share it, both of you, equally damned. He slumped back down, silent. Lily tugged my sleeve. Daddy, what's happening? I knelt to her level. Sometimes people lie, but we tell the truth now. That's what makes us strong. She blinked. Will Mommy go away? I swallowed hard. That's not for me to decide. That's for her. Emily sobbed louder. Sophie touched my arm. You've made your point. Maybe it's enough. I shook my head. No. Today is the day I take back my life. The day they face what they've done. Turning to the room, I said, you all needed to see the truth. Now you have. Decide for yourselves who deserves pity. Silence weighed heavy. Emily crawled toward me, grabbing my ankle. Please, don't end us. Don't take my family away. I looked down at her, unflinching. I didn't take anything. You gave it away the day you betrayed me. She screamed my name, voice raw. Daniel whispered, broken. I'm sorry. I stared at him. Sorry doesn't erase the knife in my back. I turned to the families. I'm done pretending. No more lies. No more masks. From this day forward, I live free. Sophie whispered. And them? I shook my head. They live in the ashes they created. Emily's sobs filled the silence. Daniel's silence was heavier than stone, and Lily clung to me, the only light in the wreckage. I kissed her hair and whispered, Happy birthday, my little girl. The truth is my gift to you. The house was silent except for Lily's sobs. Daddy, why is Mommy not here? She whispered, clutching my shirt. I stroked her hair. She made mistakes, sweetheart. But I'm here. I'm not leaving you. Her little fingers tightened around me. But Mommy left. I swallowed hard. Yes, she needs time to face what she's done. She sniffled. I want her back. I hugged her tighter. I know. I wish things were different. The door creaked. Sophie stepped inside. She's gone? I nodded. Daniel, too. He couldn't handle the stairs. The shame. He ran. Sophie folded her arms. Coward. Or just guilty, I muttered. She studied me. You should feel relieved. You won. You burned their lies to the ground. Won? I shook my head. Does this look like victory? I motioned to Lily's tear-stained face. Sophie knelt beside her. Sweetheart, it's not your fault, Lily whimpered. Then whose fault is it? Sophie looked at me. I whispered, Not yours, Lily. Never yours. Later that night, Sophie handed me a glass of water. You exposed them. You stood your ground. That should mean something. It means I survived, I said. Nothing more. Her eyes softened. Survival is a kind of victory. I shook my head. Victory feels hollow if all it leaves is ashes. She touched my arm. You still have Lily. She's your light. Don't forget that. I glanced at my daughter, curled up on the couch with her doll. She's the only reason I'm still breathing. Sophie leaned closer. Do you regret it? Revealing everything? I closed my eyes. No, lies needed to die. But part of me wonders if I destroyed more than I saved. You didn't destroy it, she said firmly. They did. You just showed the truth, I whispered. Then why does it feel like I'm the one left bleeding? She exhaled. Because you loved her. Even after everything, some part of you still does. Silence hung heavy. Lily stirred, rubbing her eyes. Daddy? I rushed to her side. I'm here. She blinked up at me. Is Mommy ever coming back? Hesitated, then said gently, I don't know, but I promise I'll never leave you. She pressed her face into my chest. Then I'm okay. Tears burned my eyes, but I held them back. Sophie whispered, See? That's your victory. Her trust. Her love. I nodded faintly. Later, Sophie sat across from me. What will you do now? Breathe, I said. Wake up tomorrow, hold Lily. That's all I can promise. And Emily? She asked softly, clenched my fists. She's already lost. She'll have to live with that. Sophie tilted her head. And you? Will you forgive someday? I stared at the floor. Forgiveness feels impossible. Survival is all I have right now. She studied. Sometimes survival is the seed of something greater. Don't let bitterness be your only companion. Her words lingered, but I stayed silent. When Lily finally slept, Sophie whispered, You need rest too. I shook my head. Rest doesn't come easy anymore. Then at least stop punishing yourself. I met her gaze. Do I look like a victor to you? Her voice softened. No. You look like a man who's still standing. And that's enough. I closed my eyes, letting her words sink in. The clock ticked past midnight. The house felt emptier without Emily's presence, without her lies filling the air. Lily mumbled in her sleep. Daddy, I whispered back. I'm here, always. And though Sophie said I had won, I couldn't feel triumph, only survival, only the ache of a man who had walked through fire and was still learning how to breathe again. Emily collapsed at my feet, her voice shaking. Please, please don't leave me. I'll do anything. Just forgive me. I stared down, my chest hollow. You think forgiveness will erase what you've done? Her tears dripped onto the floor. I was weak, I was scared, but I never stopped loving you. I clenched my jaw. You loved me while lying in Daniel's arms? She reached for me, hands trembling. I was lost, but you were always my anchor. Don't take Lily from me. I pulled Lily closer, her small fingers clutching mine. You already lost her the day you chose lies, Emily sobbed. She's my daughter. She's my heart, I whispered, holding Lily tighter. Emily crawled closer. I can change. I can be better. Just give me one more chance. I shook my head slowly. Every chance was already given. I buried myself once for you. I won't do it again. Her voice cracked. Then what do you want from me? Punishment? Begging? I'll crawl, I'll kneel, I'll... Stop. My voice cut sharp. This isn't about punishment. This is about truth. And truth says you broke us. Emily's face twisted in anguish. Don't you still love me? Love. The word sliced through me. I closed my eyes. Maybe I do. But love poisoned with betrayal isn't love worth saving. Lily tugged my sleeve, whispering, "Daddy, I'm scared." I knelt to her level. "It's okay, sweetheart. Daddy's here. I won't let anything hurt you." Emily reached toward her. "Lily, Mommy's sorry. Can't you forgive me?" Lily shook her head, tears welling. "You made Daddy sad." Her words broke something inside me, and I rose, shielding her. "You heard her. Even she feels the cracks." Emily clutched her chest. "So you'll just walk away? Throw everything away?" "I'm not throwing it away," I said coldly. "You already did. I'm only walking from the ruins," she screamed, pounding the floor. "You can't! You can't leave me like this." "I can," I whispered. "Because if I stay, I'll die all over again." Sophie entered quietly, her eyes scanning the room. "Do you need me to drive you?" I nodded. "Yes, tonight we leave." Emily looked at Sophie with fury. You poisoned him against me." Sophie's tone was steady. "No, Emily, you did that yourself." Emily lunged forward, grabbing my arm. "Don't do this, don't take her." I peeled her hand away. "I'm not taking her from you. You gave her away the day you chose lies over family." Her voice crumbled. "I'll never stop fighting for her." "Then fight your own shame first," I said. Sophie whispered. "We should go." I nodded, lifting Lily into my arms. Emily screamed behind us. "You'll regret this. You'll regret leaving me." I paused at the door, my back heavy. No. The only regret would be staying. The car ride was quiet, except for Lily's soft breaths. Sophie finally spoke. "You didn't even look back." "I've looked back too many times already," I muttered. She studied me. "Do you feel lighter?" I stared out the window. "No, just empty." "Empty is better than chained," she said softly. I glanced at Lily sleeping against my chest. "She's all I need now." Sophie nodded. "Then raise her with love. Blood doesn't define family. Choice does." Her words lingered. "Choice," I repeated. "Yes, and tonight you chose life over lies." When we reached Sophie's house, I carried Lily inside and laid her on the couch. She stirred but didn't wake. Sophie handed me a blanket. "She'll be safe here." Covered Lily gently. "She's innocent. She deserves better than the storm we lived in." "You'll give her that," Sophie said. I rubbed my temples. "I don't know if I'm enough." She touched my shoulder. "You are. Because you refuse to repeat the same mistakes." Silence filled the room. Emily's voice echoed in my head. "Don't you still love me?" I whispered to myself. I did. But I can't anymore. Sophie watched me carefully. "You made the hardest choice. Now comes the harder part. Living with it." I sat beside Lily, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "For her, I'll bear it." Sophie smiled faintly. "That's not just survival, that's strength." I leaned back, exhaustion washing over me. "Strength feels like breaking apart slowly." "Sometimes breaking apart is how we rebuild," she replied. I glanced at her. "Then maybe tomorrow I'll start rebuilding. Tonight, I just want to breathe." She nodded. "Then breathe. You've earned at least that." The night stretched long, but I didn't sleep. I sat in silence, listening to Lily's soft breathing. Emily's sobs haunted me, but I refused to bend. Forgiveness would have been betrayal, to my pain, to my scars, to my truth. I whispered to Lily, "You're mine, no matter what blood says. I'll love you enough for both of us." Her little hand twitched, clutching the blanket. Tears slid down my face, but for the first time, they weren't for Emily. They were for Lily, for us, for a future I would fight to build. And in that quiet, I knew. I had already buried myself once for Emily's lies. I would never do it again. Sophie leaned across the cafe table, her smile calm. "It's been years, And you still don't flinch when her name comes up. That's growth. I stirred my coffee slowly. I don't flinch because the wound healed, but the scar's still there. She tilted her head. Do you ever miss her? I let out a dry laugh. Miss Emily? No, I miss who I thought she was. That's different, Sophie said. Exactly, I replied. I loved an illusion. Once it shattered, I realized love without truth isn't love, it's poison. Sophie tapped her cup. And Daniel? I shook my head. Last I heard, he's a ghost of himself. Drinks, regrets, but never admits. His silence is punishment enough. You don't want revenge anymore? She asked. I leaned back. Revenge loses its flavor when you've already survived. Living well became the sharpest blade. Later that night, Lily sat across from me, now a teenager, her eyes bright. Dad, can I ask something? Anything, I said. She hesitated. Why did you raise me when you knew? My chest tightened, but I smiled. Because love isn't measured by blood, it's measured by choice. And I chose you every single day. Her voice cracked. Even when it hurt? Especially then, I whispered. Because you were never the mistake. The mistake was believing lies. She reached across the table, gripping my hand. Then I'll spend my life proving you were right to choose me. I swallowed hard. You already have. One evening, Emily showed up at my door. Her face was older, worn by years of regret. Can we talk? She asked softly. I stepped outside, closing the door behind me. Say what you came to say. She looked at the ground. I lost everything. Daniel abandoned me. My family won't look at me the same. And Lily, she won't even call me Mom anymore. I stayed silent, her eyes filled. I don't want forgiveness. I just want to know, did you ever really love me? I breathed deeply. I loved you more than myself, but that's why it nearly killed me when you betrayed me. Her tears spilled. Then why do you look at me now with nothing? Because I buried the man who loved you, I said firmly, and I'm not digging him up again. She whispered, I regret everything. I nodded. I know. That's your burden to carry. Mine was letting go. And without another word, I walked back inside. Sophie sat on the couch watching me. How did it feel, seeing her again? Like standing at a grave, I said quietly. Except the body is still breathing. And you? I walked away without shaking. That's all the answer I need. She smiled faintly. Then you've finally won. No, I corrected. I didn't win. I survived. There's a difference. Weeks later, Lily came home with a school essay. She placed it in my hands. Read this. I unfolded the paper and read aloud. My father is my hero. Not because he's perfect, but because he chose me when he didn't have to. He showed me that family is love, not blood. His scars are proof that survival is possible. If I become half as strong as him, I'll be proud. My throat tightened. Lily? She smiled through tears. It's true, Dad. I pulled her into my arms. You've given meaning to every scar. She whispered, then let's keep living. Just us. Just us, I promised. Years rolled on. The shadows of betrayal faded, but they never disappeared. I carried them like weathered stones, heavy, but no longer breaking me. One night, Sophie asked, do you ever regret not forgiving her? I looked at the stars. No, forgiving her would have been betraying myself. Survival meant choosing me for once. And now? She asked. Now I see it clearly. Betrayal didn't end me. It remade me. I wasn't just a husband or a father or a victim. I became a man reborn in truth. She nodded. And your scars? I smiled faintly. They're not shame anymore. They're proof. Proof that I lived, endured, and chose love anyway. Lily once asked me, Dad, If you could change the past, would you? I thought long before answering. No, because the pain forged me into the man strong enough to raise you. She hugged me tightly. Then maybe betrayal wasn't your end. It was your beginning. Her words stayed with me, and in that moment I knew she was right.